do love fall.
Good morning. Good morning. It's early. It's the high today in Alabama is 83. And I was like, okay, does that mean I'm not going to sweat today? Because maybe it's like once a week, I text my hairdresser and go, I hate my hair, just to let you know. I hate it because it is a fuzzy mess. I can't do anything with it. I sweat every day. And I was like, okay, today maybe I should curl my hair. Maybe it'll make me feel better. Maybe it'll make me think I like my hair. But I sweat every day. And it's like, that's probably why I hate my hair, is because half the time I'm pouring sweat and I'm in the farm. So, good morning and welcome to the okay, I was going to say something show, but I decided not to say that. To the crap show. Today I was sitting thinking about what I should talk about, and I try to talk about subjects that I'm going through so that you understand that this is not a made up um, live or a made up situation. It's like really what I'm going through. And so I feel like I'm going through a lot. And so my brain feels a little scattered this morning. Um, right now, I'm still dealing with healing with my surgery that I had 5 weeks ago today, which is my sinus surgery and ear surgery. And I'm still not 100% when it comes to that. Like right now, I feel like I'm going to choke because I feel like there's mucus in the back of my nose in my throat area. And I'm like, so like I'm just struggling with that still. I'm trying to drink a lot of water to maybe help with that. But I guess it was Monday. Yeah, because today's Wednesday. You know, they called and told me I had melanoma. And how do I feel about it? It's kind of janked me up mentally a little bit. And I think it's because when she explained to me the surgery and that I wasn't going to have just one surgery, but I was going to have 2, possibly 3 on just one spot. So basically, I'm going to have 3 surgeries, possibly 4. And I'm like, I didn't even get over the sinus and ear surgery. You know, like I'm like, really? And then I'm thinking, well, it's not like this just happens to me. You know, melanoma, skin cancer is kind of a common type surgery, kind of common type cancer, almost as if for a man, prostate cancer is kind of high for men, but it's curable. Same with melanoma. Melanoma, you know, yes, it can kill you, but it's also curable. All I have to do is have surgery because it was, you know, stage 1, which means that it hasn't spread. I don't have to have radiation. So all I have to do is go under the knife and then I'm cancer free. So, like, why does this stress me out? It could be a lot worse, you know? And so I'm like, why am I sideways? And you may tell you what took me over the edge. Y'all are going to laugh, but I know that you probably can relate to me. I have to stand up for it. This is what took me over the edge. Monday night, Shane wasn't here. So therefore, when Shane is not here, I have oatmeal, cereal, or popcorn for supper. Okay. I'm not like cooking a meal. So I had a bag of popcorn, and it was microwave popcorn. And I was sitting in this chair, and it's a fairly new chair, and I love it because it swivels. It's just, I like it. And I had my popcorn. I was sitting in this chair because I was editing a video, and I put the bag of popcorn between me and the chair, and I was eating it, editing a video. Can you see right there? The popcorn turned my brand new white chair orange, and it took me over the edge. I just bust out in tears. And I'm like, I'm so sick of everything. I am just like I just lose it. It's not burnt. It's like stained from the butter or something because it was on the outside of the bag. So I was like, maybe a magic eraser will take it out, but I don't have one right now to go try it. But it took me over the edge. And at that point, I was like, what is wrong with me? What the? I'm crying because popcorn stain is on my white chair. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? And so I sat here looking in the mirror going, dude, you're crying over a stain that might come out with the magic eraser. Like, what the heck is wrong with you, Judy? So I had to do the old let's break it down thing to figure out what the heck is wrong with this psycho girl that's crying over a popcorn stain. Popcorn stain. And so I sat here and I was like, okay, let's start with what has happened to you in the past. Like, let's talk about it, Judy. So I'm having a conversation with myself, and I'm like, okay, well, first of all, I haven't recovered from one surgery, and half the time I feel like I'm choking, and sometimes my equilibrium's off. So I'm still recovering from surgery. Okay, so that's one thing that's happened to me. The second thing that's happened to me is I got a diagnosis of melanoma, and I have to have surgery again. So that's very stressful. Okay, Judy, what else is wrong with you? Well, I'll just tell you that Larry, I had a conversation with him because I'm trying to get him to get out of the bedroom. He's been in the bedroom for like a year now. And I mean, this is ridiculous. You're not dying. Get up, do something. You're not going to sit here and die on me. Get up, be active, quit sitting in a chair for a year. Like, you're deteriorating right in front of my eyes. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. Your vitals are fine. You're not dying. So I had this hard conversation with him, and I said, listen, you do not live in prison. Do you know what that means? That means you can walk to the kitchen, you can walk to the living room, you can go outside. Like, you don't have to just sit in a bedroom doing word searches all day. I want you to start fixing your lunch and your breakfast. I will fix the dinner. If there's days you don't feel like it, all you have to do is say, Judy, I'm not feeling good today. And then I will do your breakfast and lunch and dinner. But I need you communicating with me what's going on with you. But I need you to go. Can you physically walk to the kitchen? Because I see you walk to the bathroom. Yes. Okay. Well, if you can physically go to the kitchen, I want you to start going to get your own coffee cup. I'll do your medicine. I want you to fix your breakfast and lunch, and I want you to walk outside because he can. So on Sunday, Shane was at work. I was in the education center, and my phone starts blowing up because I have cameras everywhere. And my phone is blowing up that someone is outside. And I was like, who is outside? Who's in my driveway? Because this happens a lot. Okay. People just show up in my driveway. And I was like, who's in my driveway? It's Larry in the walker. And he knows that Shane is not home, and he's trying to find me. And he is trying to walk up the driveway to come to the edge. Keep in mind that the driveway is uphill a little bit, and he is trying to find me. And I'm like, what is he doing? What is he doing? So I go outside. I said, what are you doing? Oh, I was trying to find you. Well, he had done made up this story in his head that I had fallen in the farm and I needed help. And so in my head, I was like, okay, this ain't good. And he goes, well, do you think it's a good idea if I walk to the education center? No. Dude, no. You can't be walking to the dang education center looking for me. I'm fine. I would rather you call me or text me, are you okay? Don't come looking for me. And I'm thinking in my head, I have created a disaster by telling him that he's not in prison I want him to be mobile. Now I've created more work for me, and I've created a disaster because he doesn't know his limits. And now I'm having to worry about, oh my God, is he outside coming to look for me? Or is he, face planted on the concrete? When I should have just let him stay in his room, and that way I don't ever have to worry. I've created a disaster. And so I'm dealing with that on top of recovering from surgery, on top of, oh my gosh, I have to have surgery. And we're wondering why I'm crying over the popcorn being on my seat, my white seat. So as I was breaking things down, I was sitting here thinking about all of this, and I'm like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I needed to break it down a little bit further, though. And I was like, okay, these 3 things that you're talking about, surgery, melanoma, surgery again, recovering, Larry, being a caregiver, farm, trying to work in the farm. We need to break it down further, Judy. What is going on in your head? Because I feel empty inside. I feel like something is missing. I feel sad. I feel like crying. I don't want to get out of the bed. So I was like, what else is going on with you, Judy? What else? And I was thinking about when the doctor called me Monday to tell me I had melanoma. The first thing that I did was tell Shane. Well, Shane was in class all day, so I didn't get to tell him. I sent him a text message because he was in class, and I said, hey, I do have melanoma, and I have to have several surgeries. I said, but the good news is, I don't have to have radiation or anything. I said, it's stage 1, and I said, I just wanted to let you know I have melanoma. Well, he's in class, so I'm not getting a text back, right? Then, the next thing is you tell your children, right? And I text all 3 of my kids. I call my kid Packy, my kid. Packy's my stepson from my marriage with Robbie, but I raised him, so he's like mine. So I always say I have 3 kids. So I text them in a group text and I said, "Hey, y'all, I just wanted to let you know that I have melanoma and I've got to have several surgeries." And Packy messaged back and just said, "Where's it at?" And I said, "It's on my back and my arm." And my Corbin and Vance and my children didn't respond back. But they're at work, right? Like, I mean, it's not like, I mean, they're at work. Well, that night when my popcorn was on my white chair, they never text back and said, "Are you okay, mom? Like, what surgery are you having?" Or, like, nothing. Well, that night, Shane called me, and he didn't really say anything about the melanoma. And when I was breaking things down, I was going, "Okay, the doctor called and told you had melanoma. What happened from there?" And I was thinking about, I told my husband first, then I told my children, and then I told my brother. And I text them and I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know because I'm having surgery on August the 28th. I have melanoma, stage 1." I tell them all that. And the reason I told them is because I have not told y'all this, but my stepmother has lung cancer, and she lives in Gulf Shores. And my stepmother's been in my life my whole life. And it's kind of a blow because, my dad had lung cancer and my dad died from lung cancer. So anytime you hear somebody has lung cancer, you go to, "Oh God, they're gonna die." And so I've been dealing with, what if I lose her? Like, what if she dies too? And so I she doesn't watch me, so I can say this, but we're having her 80th birthday is coming up, and us kids decided, because we all live off, and we all decided to get together for her 80th birthday. Well, I have surgery on Thursday and I leave Friday. The surgery's on my back. So can you imagine me driving for 6 hours in the car by myself all the way to the beach? And so I told my brother, simply because, I mean, I want to go, but, I don't know what I'm going to feel like. So anyway, my brother works a full-time job and he didn't say anything. And my sister-in-law, because I text them both, my sister-in-law said, "We will be praying for you." But my brother said nothing. So I'm sitting here Monday night eating my popcorn on my chair, and I wasn't really psychologically thinking about, no one said a word. But obviously, you know how sometimes something's wrong with you, but you can't pinpoint what's wrong with you? Like, what the heck's wrong with you? Because you're crying over the popcorn on your chair. And so I was sitting here thinking and breaking things down, and I realized that I had my feelings hurt. And so I was like, "Judy, you're acting like a dadgum middle schooler. Got your feelings hurt because nobody responded because you have melanoma." And so then I had to break it down a little further. I'm like, "Okay, you got your feelings hurt. So what do you like? What kind of response were you wanting them to give you? Like, what was you expecting?" And I'm breaking this down and I'm like, what was I expecting? I was expecting I think this is what I was. Okay, this is so middle schooler. Okay. And so bear with me as I tell y'all this and I break this down. But I think I don't know if I was wanting them to feel sorry for me or to go, "Oh gosh, mom, you just had sinus and ear surgery and now you have to have another I'm so sorry. Do you need help? Do you want me to help you with the farm? What can I do? Do you need someone to drive you?" I think I was wanting all of that and I got zero. So then I was breaking it down and going, "Okay, why did I get zero response? Why here I am with melanoma. No one no one cares. So that's what I was telling myself. Absolutely no one cares that I have melanoma. So then I go, "Okay, Judy, let's check the facts. Let's check the facts. You're telling yourself that no one cares. So, does your kids care that you have melanoma? Let's check the facts. Yes. Does Shane care that you have melanoma? Yes. Does your brother care that you have melanoma? Yes. Okay. So the fact is, you telling yourself that no one cares, that's a lie. Okay. That's not the truth. Okay. So if you are expecting them to have a response, that is called an expectation. I had an expectation that that they would react the way I wanted them to react, and they didn't. So, why did I set up this expectation for them to react the way I wanted them to react? Why did I do that? When you set expectations of someone's reaction, what happens? You're going to get disappointed when you set expectations because people don't necessarily react the way you want them to. And, I've talked about before, like when I give someone a gift, I want them to do back handsprings in the front yard. Like meaning I say that scenario because I want them, because that's the reaction I do. When someone gives me a gift, it means the world to me. Because that's my love language. When I get a gift from someone that they have gone out of their way to buy me something or ship me something or send me a card, I'm like, and it's not like when someone sends a card and it actually has writing in it, it means the world to me. But not everyone has the same love language as Judy. Okay. So when I give Shane a gift, he is not doing the excited dance. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh, Judy, this is what I've always wanted. Thank you. And I'm like, dude, thank you. Are you kidding me? I just thought of this gift, went and bought it, brought it to you, and all I get is a thank you. I need you to do the moonwalk. I need you to do like the jig. I need you to go, "This is the best present I've ever gotten." And he goes, "Thank you." And then I feel disappointed because I set this expectation. He is fixing to get ripped up excited for this gift. And he doesn't respond that way. And it's because I set these expectations that are not obtainable. So I was thinking about the whole melanoma and being disappointed, setting up expectations. And I had to, when I was breaking it down, I had to dig a little deeper to figure out what I'm needing. Like, why am I needing sympathy or whatever? Like, why am I needing that? What's wrong with me? And I realized when I was sitting here breaking things down, I was like, I just want to feel loved. I just want to feel appreciated. I just want to, like I was doing this girly thing. I was just like, I just want them to care. Like, show me you care. Ask me if I need a driver, or ask me, like more details about. I mean, I don't even know if my kids even know what melanoma is, you know? And I was like, I just I just need to know, like, I just need to feel loved. And so I was like, okay, why am I feeling so needy? I mean, dang, Judy, these people have a full-time job. My brother has 6 children and works a full-time out of town job. And so I want him to stop everything he's doing to meet my expectations. So I began to think about the word melanoma. And I think, like, I personally think that no one really thinks that melanoma can kill you, where it can. I mean, melanoma is a serious cancer. Why do people take it so lightly? It's the same with prostate cancer. I can remember when Larry got prostate cancer. I'm not going to say who, but I was telling somebody that Larry had prostate cancer, and they were like, "Oh, that's curable. It's no big deal. Have a little bit of all men go through it. It's not a big deal. That they can live with it." And I can remember when Larry and I went and saw the radiologist and the doctor. Larry's prostate cancer was aggressive. So just like melanoma has a stage, so does prostate cancer. And Larry's prostate cancer was aggressive, which means no, prostate cancer itself doesn't kill you. But when prostate cancer is aggressive, it spreads to other places in your body, and that kills you. And I learned that from Larry's doctor. And these so-called people that thought they knew what they were talking about was like, Judy, that's treatable. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. A lot of men have prostate cancer, and in my head, I thought, okay. So, do all men have to have a PET scan when they have prostate cancer? No. It depends on the stage of the prostate cancer. Same with melanoma. If your melanoma is a higher stage, I can't remember what stage it is. I think it's a stage 3. I think they send you for a PET scan because melanoma spreads and can kill you. The same with prostate cancer. So when Larry's prostate cancer was diagnosed aggressive, when he was in I can't remember what stage it was, but he was in the stage where, oh my gosh, this could have spread. So I had to take Larry to UAB to have a PET scan to see if it had spread in other places in his body. We were very fortunate that it had not spread. But if Larry did not have treatment, it would spread. Same thing with melanoma. When you're in a certain stage, you have to have a PET scan to see if it has spread to other places in your body. So for the average person that has never been through prostate cancer or never been through melanoma, they don't know the facts, right? And the average person that walks around this earth, they're like, oh, everybody has skin cancer. Everybody has skin cancer. Everybody has prostate cancer. I hear it all the time. I mean, it's almost like breast cancer is becoming like known because, back in the day, breast cancer was a death sentence. It was like almost like lung cancer. It was a death sentence. And now, people live all the time with breast cancer, but it's the same thing with breast cancer. It can keep spreading. It can metastasize to other places in your body. And the average person, like especially in their 20s, that have never been through it, they don't really understand the seriousness of melanoma. And so I was thinking about it because the reason I'm saying all this is because my kid's grandfather has had multiple surgeries. Like, he's had multiple surgeries for skin cancer, and he's not dead. So I think, in my opinion, my kids are like, oh, Papa has that all the time. They don't understand. I don't understand the seriousness of it. So I was like, okay, so so let me go back to myself. So I'm trying to break things down and figure out what's wrong with me. And all these things are going through my mind for me to figure out, why do I feel empty? Why do I feel sad? Why do I feel defeated? What's going on in my brain? Okay, so I figured out it was, the overwhelm of surgeries. I didn't get the reaction I needed from my family. Okay, why am I needing these middle school reactions from people? Why am I feeling that? And I think I was feeling like I just needed to be loved on. Have y'all had that feeling like you're like, okay, so I'm in stage 1. Okay, so like thank the Lord that I'm not in, the aggressive stage where this is spread and I have to have radiation. Praise Jesus. But dear Jesus, I have got to have all these surgeries. And I'm like, I think I just was needing a little loved on. And I didn't get the reaction I needed. So I was like, okay, Judy, what do you need to do to take care of yourself? I mean, when the popcorn on your white chair is making you cry, what do you need to do to take care of yourself? And I was like, I think I just need a moment. I think I just need to take a step back, go walk down at the creek, and just have a moment. And I was like, I, Judy, promise not to jack up my makeup when I just did it. Okay? Because it doesn't look good with tears rolling down your eyes and your makeup all jacked up. Okay. So I just needed to walk down at the creek and have a moment. Have a moment with myself and God. And I was like, this is hard. This is so hard. This is so difficult. And I was walking down to the creek and I was like, okay, let's think about the things that I'm grateful for. And I was like, I am so grateful for friends, girls that are friends, because girls get girls. And I'm so thankful for girls because I feel like they understand. If you're a man and watching me, don't get this wrong, okay? Just hear me out. But girls are more tender-hearted. Girls can sense what girls need. And I'm so thankful for friends. And I'm so thankful for backup dancers that have never even seen my face that love on me. I'm so thankful because I was needing loved on. I was just needing. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm a very strong person. When uh when I was on the phone with my doctor's office, and I've had surgery before, but it wasn't melanoma, it was carcinoma. And I figured I didn't have to have a driver. Uh and she said you don't. She goes, "Oh no, you don't have to have a driver." And well, when you think about you don't have to have a driver, it doesn't sound very serious, does it? It sounds like they're just gonna go in and just do a little chop chop and you're, you're at the office, right? It doesn't sound very serious. But I know in my head, my mother had melanoma. And I remember it was the same thing. She had to have multiple surgeries. And when I tell you it looked like a shark had ate her arm, I mean, sometimes they dig deep. I mean, there was like a big hole in my mom's arm. Uh, and to think about, like, the first surgery is they take out lesions around the cancer and then they stitch you up. And then they send off your tissue to the lab. And the lab tells them whether there's cancer in the lesions or not. And then 1 week later, I go back in to the doctor's office with stitches that's sore because, a week of surgery, you're still sore. And they open it back up. They open the stitches back up and dig it out. I'm like, that sounds a train wreck. And I remember my mom had 3 surgeries on hers because the second surgery, they dig out the melanoma and they send it off to the lab. And if they didn't get it all, if the lesions are not clear, you go back in a week later and they open up that wound again and dig more out. And I'm thinking, this sounds like a train wreck. And I will tell you that I don't know about you. I'm the type of patient, like, the last time I had cancer, it was on my back, which I find odd that I'm having all these cancers on my back that I can't physically see. I didn't even know that was back there. And I told Shane, I said, "You're a jackleg because you see my back all the time and you've never told me that there was anything on my back." And he was like, "I never saw anything." But see, when you're red hair, fair skin, freckles, a lot of times you think it's a freckle because I have freckles everywhere. So he probably didn't even realize that the cancer was on my back. And I thought, that could have been bad. If that place on my leg did not show up, I would have not gone to the doctor. So it was almost like an intervention that God put that on my leg for me to go to the doctor to find the cancer on my back. But anyway, several years ago, I'm going to say probably 15 years ago, I had carcinoma on my back and I had to have surgery. And this is how bad of a patient I am. Okay. They deaden it. I'm awake, right? They deaden it. Well, they begin to cut me open and I couldn't feel the incision, but I could feel the blood running down my back. And I start going, oh my God, oh my God. And he was like, can you feel that? Can you feel that? I'm like, I feel the blood running down my back. And he was like, but can you feel the incision? No, but I feel the blood running back and down my back. And I feel like I'm going to pass out. But you can't feel the incision. No, but I feel blood. And I'm like the worst patient ever. And I'm thinking in my head, you want me to go by myself and I'm fixing to look like a shark has bitten my back and I'm going to feel blood running all down my back and you think I'm going to be okay. Tell me how that works out for you. Because I'm not the patient that's like can handle blood. I'm going to fall out on the floor. I'm just not a good patient. Like I'm the patient that falls out when you get my blood drawn. I'm not good. So getting back to the story is when I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me Monday night, it was a multitude of things. And I wasn't getting my needs met. And I wasn't feeling the warm, fuzzy love from my family. And I didn't feel needed. I didn't feel loved. But none of that was true. None of the things that I was feeling are not facts. My children love me dearly. My husband loves me dearly. My brother loves me dearly. You know, I think it's just, I think it's a combination of things that I'm going through, especially with Larry. It's very hard. And I think over everything, when I was breaking things down, I really think what was going on with me had nothing to do with me even having melanoma. I think it's more me being a caregiver that kind of had me sideways. It's the hardest job I've ever done in my life. And I think a lot of it, you know, like when it's I don't know this to be a fact because I've never had to take care of my husband, you know, or a dying child. I've never had to do that. Thank God. But with Larry, there's a lot of things that I don't understand. I don't understand at all. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong. You know, is it autism? Is it dementia? Is it like, is he getting enough oxygen to his brain? Like what? And I'm wanting answers and nobody can give me any answers because no one truly knows what's wrong with him. And I'm trying to take care of a patient where things are very confusing and I don't understand. And last week, he had a little bit of a meltdown and said, I can tell my breathing is getting worse. And we made him come to the table and eat dinner with us. And me and Shane were sitting there. I mean, he was breathing so heavy trying to eat his dinner. Shane and I were looking at each other like, what in the, like, what? Like, this is terrible. I mean, gasping for breath, just trying to eat a hamburger, and he's wheezing. And so I had talked to his nurse about it. I said, hey, things are not good. And the nurse said, I want you to put his oxygen meter on him and see if his oxygen is dropping when he is mobile. Well, I did it, and his oxygen's not dropping. Well, I've taught aerobics my whole life, right? I know how the heart rate works. And I was like, what's happening is when you sit in a chair or lay in the bed for 1 year or more, then you try to do exercise, as in walking from your bedroom to the table, which isn't far, you're out of breath. It's the same as if I walk down to the creek and I walk up the hill to the house. I'm out of breath. And I'm out of breath because I'm out of shape. Larry is so out of shape from sitting for so long that it is difficult for him to walk from the bedroom to the kitchen table because his oxygen is not dropping. He's out of shape. So there's Sergeant Judy in the house that goes, we ain't doing this. Get your A up and get walking. You're out of shape. You can't breathe because you're sitting in a chair in your bedroom non-stop. Like, it's not your oxygen dropping. It's because your butt is out of shape. And then I think if walking to the kitchen is difficult for him Sunday when he was trying to find me, and he's outside on the concrete with his walker trying to find me, it gives me anxiety because I'm thinking he is fixing to fall out in the floor because it's all he can do to walk to the kitchen. And now he's out trying to go uphill to the education center to find me. I have my hands full. I have my hands full. I have my hands full. Have I said that? I have my hands full. So I think when I was trying to break things down to figure out why I was crying, that the popcorn got on my white seat. I think I'm trying to say is, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. Because I don't want to have to start worrying about him going out of the house trying to find me. Because if that starts happening, guess what? My life is going to change even more. If he starts going, I thought when I told him to go outside, I thought he would just go outside and sit in a chair. And I thought that would be fine. But if he starts wondering, things are going to get hard. And I think that's why I was crying over the popcorn in my chair. Do you see a lot of times people will say, they'll email me and say, I need help breaking this down. Do you remember in school when you learned who, what, where, when, and how? That's how you break things down. Okay, Judy, what is wrong with you? Because you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling like you don't want to get out of the bed, you're feeling like you can't get out of your pajamas. Okay, what is wrong with you? So then you start and go, what has happened to you in the past month? And then when you break that down, you got to break it down even further and go, okay, why do you feel empty inside? Well, I didn't get the reaction that I needed. What are you needing? What reaction do you need from your children or Shane or your brother? What are you needing? Why are you needing that? What's causing you to feel lonely or sad, or what is causing this? You got to keep asking yourself questions until you get to the solution on what the crap is wrong with you over crying over popcorn. Because truth be known, like, I can understand me being mad that the popcorn stained my white. Ugh, I just spent $80 on that dang chair that I absolutely love, and now the popcorn has a stain on it. I could see being mad, but literally crying, sobbing like a baby over the popcorn staining the chair is a little much. There's something else wrong with me over than the popcorn stain. And you have to recognize what is going on inside you to break things down to go, dude, why are you crying over a popcorn stain? The magic eraser will probably get it out, Judy. And if it don't, it's not like the chair is ruined. You know, no one sees the chair but Shane and I, because it's in my bedroom. Like, why are you going to this extent over crying over a stain? That is the moment where you have to recognize what is going on inside your body. What is happening? What, who, what, when, and where, and how. Keep breaking it down until you find the solution. And the second I got to, it really has nothing even to do with melanoma. It really has nothing to do with my expectations. It was more of, this is hard. This caregiving stuff is so difficult. Watching someone decline in your own home, your home is supposed to be your safe place. It's supposed to be like stress-free, like it's your safe place. And when someone that you're taking care of is declining and you can't get away from it to take a breath, like just for me to leave to go see my stepmom, do you know what I have to do to leave my house? I have to put Larry in a nursing home for respite. Well, you go in there and try to tell him, like I did this week. I said, hey, my stepmother has cancer. I need to go see her. It's her 80th birthday. That means I'm going to have to put you in respite while I travel to Gulf Shores. Okay, I get the guilt trip. I don't get, hey, go see your stepmom. I'm fine. I'll go to the nursing home for 8 days. Don't you worry about me. You take care of you and you go take care of your stepmom. You do what you need to do. I don't get that. I get, how many days do I have to go? Am I going to get my own room? When are you dropping me off? When are you picking me up? I don't get. Judy, you go do what you need to do. I don't get that. To leave my house, I have to go through this guilt trip. I have to go through putting him in the nursing home. I have to go through hiring someone for my farm. So it's a financial burden, it's a guilt trip, and it's a headache. So that's why I never leave my house. It's hard. And I was crying over the popcorn stain simply because it's hard. I hope that I explained things about how to figure out what's wrong with you and why you're crying over something simple, or when you don't get your expectations needed, how you have to not get mad at that person because they didn't meet your needs. You got to figure out what's wrong with you. Because I'm going to tell you something. If I would have called my children and put them on a guilt trip, well, you don't even care. You don't even text me. You don't even call me. You don't even ask no questions. You just throw me to the wolves. How is that different from what Larry does to me? What time am I leaving? What time am I getting back? Am I going to have my own room? If I would have called my children and threw up on them like Larry throws up on me, how am I different? The tool that I'm putting in my pocket is I need to take care of myself. I don't need to depend on my children to meet my needs. I need to figure myself out and be strong. If I'm not getting my needs met, I need to figure out how to get my needs met from someone other than my family members. I need to depend on my friends. I need to go take care of myself. I need to take myself to dinner, or I need to go take myself for a walk. Because when you throw up on your children and tell them what a terrible life you have, it just causes a bunch of anxiety on everyone. If your life is terrible, you have to fix it. You can't depend on your children to fix it. You got to fix it yourself. And I'm here to tell you that you can, because you have control over your own thoughts. But you've got to break it down to figure it out. Today is Wednesday. The center comes today. So I'm going to be singing karaoke, having a good time. And last week, I forgot that I bought them popsicles. So I'm hoping that when they get here that I can surprise them, because I bought them popsicles. And they're in my freezer in the education center. And I think they'll be excited. Of course, they do love drinks. So they may want a drink and not a popsicle, but we'll see. Today, you have choices. You can sit it out and expect everyone to meet your expectations. That is sitting it out. Dancing is putting tools in your pocket to take care of yourself and recognizing why you're crying over the popcorn stain. That is dancing, because if you don't, it's going to rob you of your joy and you're going to be miserable. And that's what I call sitting it out. So today you have choices. You can sit it out or you can dance, and I hope you dance. I will see y'all Monday. Love you. Bye.